Live. We are live. And you're probably saying, why don't I see you, Lance? I'm live, but nobody's here. Well, we got a copyright strike this morning, a community, not a copyright strike, but a community guideline strike this morning after I put up a short about a certain facet of our population and their low birth rates. And they said it was medical misinformation. Okay, you got me. So they struck me for a week. I can't do anything for a week, but I do have a backup channel that most here don't know at LanceScurvLive. So you're hearing it now. There's a backup channel that you need to subscribe to, LanceScurvLive. I'll put the link on LanceScurv, but it doesn't stop me because we're still creating this content. When the strike is over, we're going to upload it to LanceScurv the same way. Now, what I did forget to do is to set this up on LanceScurv.com, which I'm in the process of doing that now. So I know a lot of people want to say, wait a second, 10 o'clock came. Well, actually 5 o'clock came for you, 10 o'clock for me, and we don't see them. What's happening? But I am on Facebook, right? My personal page. I am on Facebook on LanceScurv. That's the fan page. I'm on LinkedIn right now, LanceScurv. And I'm on Facebook, YouTube, LanceScurvLive, and Twitch at LanceScurv, and Twitter at LanceScurv. But no, nobody's going to see me until then. I'm seeing 0 people here, but I'm going to talk as though everybody's here. And okay, here it is. I have the actual link that I will put on. You might hear double right onto LanceScurv for those who might miss it. And the title of this is The Deception, Spiritual Traps, and Attacks Are at an All-Time High. I wanted to make the title a little longer, but you know, don't want to make it too long, but I had a little extra words in there to bring it back home. So let me stop this from spinning. Let me get the share link. Bear with me, people. And this is after the fact. This will be recording by the time you hear it, so I can drop this on the actual site and not have any issues with people wanting to see it right now. If they remember that I said to always come to LanceScurv.com when you don't see me. So I'm going to switch this up. Hopefully they're not there looking and not refreshing the page. All the things we have to do when we run platforms. It's always something. But, you know, like I said, that's the price of doing business. You know, they see the show doing good, doing it every day, same time, good content, good graphics. And, you know, they don't like that. Look at his page. Who's he think he is? Look at all those subscribers that he has. I never heard of him before. Let's show him a lesson talking about us, because they don't really like to hear about their demise. You know, they don't want to hear that stuff. So hopefully we'll get some people in here on LanceScurv.com, and I'll let it through. Okay, we are live. Okay. Oh, yeah, I had a community guidelines strike violation, as they call it, and will be gone. LanceScurv for a week, but will be live here and on LanceScurvLive on YouTube, which is my backup channel. That's what they call it, backup channel. Okay, there's nobody here for me to say, hey, how's the sound going? You know what I mean? I'm kind of up here on my own. And let's see something here. Okay, we have something from Ambience also coming. All the uploads are still going to go, you know, and there'll be no problem with it. Let me see who hears us, who sees us. We have one. I'm the only person. Well, that's a daggone shame. You got to pay attention in class, people. You got to pay attention in class. If you don't listen to the little bit of instructions when you're walking out or read the fine print, who knows? Well, let's chop it up because this is not going to be long. I just want to chop it up here and see how many people are here and everything, how we're working along. So let me get to the right screens. Yes, the deception, spiritual traps, and attacks are at an all-time high. A lot of us don't realize that. There's so much going on in the world that is not authentic. It's covered, and it's meant to rob you of your life force. It's made to attack you. It's made to trap you. And it all works under a deceptive cloak. It all works under a deceptive cloak. And many of us are so caught up in this major distraction of these deceptions that we don't see the damage that we're doing to ourselves. You know, we've sunken in more to lying to ourselves, the world the way it is today. And we're paying the price for it because it's like eating fake food, like food that's straight fake. It looks like food, but it has no calories, no protein, no carbohydrates, no essential fats, no vitamins, no minerals, and no water, no moisture. But we're eating it up, much like junk food. And we dive more into this because we'd rather have something that looks like the real thing than being the real thing. And I can't tell you how much it is of importance to protect yourself at all times, because you have all types of wayward spirits that have lied to themselves to make themselves feel as though they are fair seeming, but they are straight evil. They're leeches. They're out for themselves. When they see you got something going on, they want to suck it from you. They will go to great lengths to deceive you, to get into your world, to get close to you, to suck your life force, to destroy what you have going on. They do this. This is their job. And they know this. Let me just let someone know here. I'm live on LanceScurv.com. Okay. They can take it there. All right, they want to go there. I should send this to like several other people. Right? Wow, I should do that. Let me take this message and copy it. And I'll shoot it out to a few certain people here. Let me see. Thank you for being here with me when you're here. I think I have one extra person here who's watching, but you never know who it is. I should have done this before, but I did not do it. Let me see. Okay. Okay, no, I'll shoot this out. We'll just have to catch this after. That's how we're going to do it. But yeah, it never ends. Let me tell you something. It never ends. It's like you putting up brand new screens in your windows to keep the mosquitoes out. But one has a tiny slice, 1/8 of an inch, way up in the attic. And you just don't realize that. Okay, let me see. Is this an answer here? Yeah. And you don't realize this until you wake up itching. You don't realize it. And you're actually scratching. You scratch up your legs so much and the other mosquitoes come and smell the blood and just tear you up. This is something that we do time and time again, and so many of us get caught up. Let me tell you something. Electricity is not going to bother you really unless you get struck by lightning. That's a very small chance of that happening. Well, put it this way, and I think I'm going to send a message over to Sister Reese also, because I know she's probably looking to get in. I will do it through this. You only have to worry about the wires. When you see the wires, then you know there might be electricity there. But see, we don't understand that the wires that we have to watch out for are not wires when it comes to the spiritual warfare. It's people, because they carry the current, whether it's negative or positive. They carry the current that brings the electricity to shock you. Now, what kind of current it is, whether it's negative or positive, is up to them. You have to be able to discern it when you see these wires. I say don't even touch the wires at all. Don't touch the wires at all. And if it is a good energy, they will understand that you just can't jump on any energy and bring it into your life. So guess what? They'll have patience. They know the drill. They know that they don't have to push themselves up on you, because you got to take time and discern who they are. And once you do, you say, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but they say, no, sorry, because I know exactly how it goes. Because as time goes on, our life force and our energies become more and more precious. I was speaking to a dear friend earlier. She was saying, wow, Lance, I can't believe you're up on 60 years old. I said, I can't believe it either. And it makes it where this particular time for me is more precious than ever before, because I got to this point and there's still more ahead of me. How much? I don't know. But at this point, after going through so much, I said to myself, you know what? I am not wasting 1 second of my life on foolishness and being drained and used and sucked out with these deceptions, spiritual traps, and attacks. You see, it's deception first. Then comes the trap. And then you're attacked and relieved of your precious life force. And you're left feeling sucked out. You ever have one of those days when you wake up and it's like, wait a second, physically I feel all right. And I'm not depressed emotionally, but I feel sucked out. It's like somebody stuck a needle in me and sucked out all of my life force. I just have no energy. I have the physical energy, but I don't have that spiritual energy to move forward. Well, you best believe that when you have Tracy, I see you, Tracy J. Anytime that I'm not on the show or have a show, you know that I'm right here. They gave me a community guideline strike on YouTube where I cannot upload, go live, or do anything for a week. So I'm on my other YouTube page, which only has like 1 subscriber, right? On LanceScurvLive. That's the one where it is, LanceScurvLive. So I tell everybody this most of the time, like when you can't find me abruptly, because they don't let you go into the community to tell everybody. They lock you out of that too. So they really screw you over. So that's why I'm going to start opening up a new Telegram group, new WhatsApp group. I'm going to have all the groups, and I'm not going to deal with no foolishness. I ain't going to deal with no undercover business, no whatever. Everybody got to be on the up and up. I have to know everybody. Like if I don't know a person, really, no, they got to call me. I got to hear their voice. You know what I mean? And there are ways around that also, because I will call them back at the time that I need to. It might be the middle of the night. I'm confirming everybody. No more is hovering and reaching out and did you know this and did you know that? Blah, blah, blah. And it's festering up for gossip, or dudes trying to get people's number and hit them up in the middle of the night. I've had guys on WhatsApp call up women that were in the group. I think this phone's going to have to just cut off. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. That's what's going to have to happen right now, because as soon as I, okay, let me see something here. This phone will keep, it never rings all day, but as soon as I go live, it's a wrap. Well, leave a voicemail. Hate to be so cruel, but you have to protect yourself. It has to go the way that you want it to go. Okay, she would see me here. Let me see. I refresh this. This is what I want to know. Did I refresh this page? I'm gonna do it right now. Let me update it right now. Refresh this next one to see if everything went through good. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it went through. It went through. God, there's so many different variables with doing this. And I feel so good, having hooked it up like this. But you can't forget any one aspect of it. You got to do everything. And I can't wait to hook these rooms up tonight. But anyway, like I said, whatever your weakness may be, and I don't want to say weakness because it's not, your weakness may not be you. It's just that crack in the armor that's easiest to get through, whatever it may be. For a lot of men, it may be sex. For a lot of women, it may be shopping. It may be gossip that you shouldn't be indulging in. It may be, doing for others, which seems to be a good thing, but they suck you down. And it could be anything. Yes, I refreshed it. Yeah. I didn't refresh the page to put this on, Tracy. So we'll always be able to come over here. I also have Twitter. Oh, it's live there. It's live on the 2 Facebook page, LanceScurv and LanceScurv in the government name. What else? Twitch under the same name. And that's the way it is. So I'm glad that, we have more and more people. I see we have 3 people. I know I'm one of them. You're another one. Somebody else just popped on. And that's how I do things when we get shut down for the week. So we all shut down for the week for those who entered. And I won't be able to come onto the LanceScurv page, but all that I do here on LanceScurvLive on that particular YouTube page, I will transfer it over once a week. So they're not really stopping anything. It's just a difference of being able to reroute yourself. But I have to really push that when I come back to LanceScurv because everybody should know. We should have a couple dozen people on here right now. And I ran out of time to make a special banner, but this is my go-to banner whenever I don't have a chance to do that. But it's all good. So let me tell you, the more I protect myself and the more I find myself in that place of peace and tranquility, the entities try even harder to get through. I'm going to have to lower this volume on this because this is going to pop up out of nowhere. Yeah, but these entities, they try real hard to get through. And they try real hard to go past the barriers that you put up and make you feel guilty about it too. Because they want something from you and they will act friendly and they will connive and think up little tricks and little plans. I have it happen to me all the time. You have the right to keep the people in your life that you want to keep in, and you have the right to, keep these people out who do you no good. And when you know that they're no good for you, you don't have to sit there and explain it. They just get them out because you don't want to entangle yourself with these people's energies. And I love to see everybody out here talking, Tracy and Reese, even if we're only the ones here now. If you run across anybody out there that you may know that comes to the show, just let them know what happened, because this is the way we're going to do it all week. We'll have shows at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll vibe like that. And again, like I said, I felt myself a little drained today, but I'm like, I am not going to not do this show. I mean, I was severely drained, and I felt it. And I had dropped my guard. How? There are things that I do in my personal practices. Nothing weird or out there, but the opening was there. And I'm still feeling good on certain levels. I don't feel bad, but there are always people trying to do that. And let me just tell you, everybody who claims African spirituality, they may not be about that. It may be straight occult. I'm not talking about the misunderstood thing that people try to throw on us to make us stay away from what we do. No, I'm talking about the straight up, I'm evil and I'm coming after you type stuff. I'm going to mess your stuff up. I'm evil. I'm this, I'm that, because these people have that in them and they use that stuff for that. Oh yeah, they throw a lot of that at me. There are people who I've found out that have done animal sacrifices, serious animal sacrifices, to stop me from living my life and doing what I do. And I am determined to let them know my life force is so strong. There is no way you're going to do that stupidness and it's going to defeat me. But when you're into all that witchery the wrong way, see, I know there's a good thing that's African that we do that's connected to nature. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when somebody's looking to bring you down and do something like, okay, even with the good stuff, if If I'm trying to bring down somebody that is on the good side of things, they have the right to do something. But when you're living your life and you're quiet and you're focused or whatever, and people don't like it, how can he do these shows every day? Let me tell you something about this social media thing. You'll have people pissed at you that you don't even know. You'll have people pissed at you that you halfway know. And you'll have people pissed at you that you already know. And they don't like it. They don't like the fact that whatever it is that you do, it doesn't have to be a YouTube show. Whatever it is that you do, like, how are you doing this when I can't do it? They got too much ego involved. They got too much, they're not watching their own lane. Have you ever, like, you're driving a car and you look sideways real quick because you think the person that's in that next car is somebody you know. You look sideways real quick. You look again. You look again. You don't hold your face there because you might find yourself veering off out of your lane. But if you keep doing this and you're focused on somebody who is doing what they have to do in their lane, if you're not watching your lane, you might find yourself wrapped around a pole or rear-ending somebody else because you didn't keep your eyes on the road. And these people, like I said, they will come up with all kinds of tricks to get into your life to just mess up. And once you gain momentum on a positive level with what you're doing, you don't want to give up that momentum because they will stop it dead in their tracks or dead in your tracks. Yes, yes, yes. And all along, Tracy J, I would not tell people they had to come. See, because there's different ways of getting out of the system, right? You can, and again, part of me is still in the system because I have to use money to pay for bills. So I admit that, but I'm out of it a lot more than I used to be. And there were some people who thought I was crazy. They were saying all kinds of things. Oh, he doesn't even have enough money to get a ticket to leave out of here. Yeah, he went there in 2019 and visited, but that was a visit. But for him to up and leave, he can't do that. He can't. And they were talking, even open in the chat room and in the comment section. I didn't say anything because I knew my plans. But here's the thing. I never said for everybody that everybody had to leave to come to Africa because that might not work for them. They might live in Maryland and be best for them to stay there in Maryland. You know what I mean? They might move down to Mexico and that's the best thing for them. Some might go to Canada. Some might go across the country. Some might go into the country. It depends how you live and how you want to live and what's for you. And when I came here in 2019, I saw what was for me, what I can do, and it was not going to be something easy. And there were a lot of folks who were trying to throw wrenches into the plans of what we're doing, but we're over the hump now. And after all that negativity, all I have to say is, now what? Do you feel good? You spend so much time and resources and energy trying to stop somebody. Now I'm here, but I'm not here to go, nah, 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 nah. If I share stuff, we share stuff, it's only to inspire people. You can do what you need to do for yourself in a similar fashion in your own way. If you want to do something similar, fine. There's some people who have come out here without a plan and they just, I don't know, the plan fell through big time. Now, I think there's somebody knocked at my door, and I have a feeling of who it might be. So let me put on music, and I'll tell you who it is, if it is that person, and I'll be right back. Be right back. Okay, it wasn't who I thought it was. It was young man we know, there's about a mile away, and we ran low on water. We usually go to the water place, like we stock up on a lot of water, right? But the water ran down. We had the big jugs, drinking water, and for cooking, and we had the little bottles that we get a couple cases and whatnot. But usually I had it stacked up. When Mr. SCURV was in America, I stacked it up so high, like a row of 5 and a row of 5. It was next to my ear. So I had water for a long time. So it kind of ran down under our noses. So this gentleman, he said, like, oh, and we know him. He says, oh, I'll bring him to your apartment. I said, okay, cool. Because there's usually a couple guys that we know that they know where we live. So he brought it on in. He took a shortcut, brought it, but went back on the shortcut and didn't walk down the main road where we were going to pay him. So I said, I can't believe this guy left and he didn't get his pay. It wasn't much, but so I walked down there early a little while ago to see if I could finally give him the money. They all know me as trustworthy. We're like family, but I didn't see him. What the heck is going on? So when I see him, I'll pay him. And it's not much. I know he thinks like, okay, I know where you live. I'll get it when I get it. I don't know. Maybe he saw his old girlfriend or something who, Yeah, no, we're going to do that for sure, Tracy. Install a surveillance system and a couple water guns, if you know what I mean. And the electric and the high wall, at least 10, 11, 12 feet in certain areas. We already have the cinder blocks for it already. So there is, there's no playing. Ain't no popping up. Okay, now Tracy Reese can't say, hey, I'm at the airport, whatever. But there are people who are here that they want to know where I live so they can do that pop-up stuff that they know that we don't get down. No, don't show up. You won't get in. Because there's some very evil people here that I know personally, and there's some very evil people that I know in the States. The good people, you're always welcome. Always, always welcome. You see what I mean? But you have to protect yourself. And you have to know, see, sometimes when we're riding high, I don't mean like, oh, you're riding high over anybody else, but you finally get to the point where, Brother Kwame, how are you, my brother? You finally get to the point where you're on the cusp of where you want to be. You can see it all coming together. You're like, wow. Oh God, you don't know, Reese. I'm gonna have to hook up a private conversation with a couple of you who might be here, right? When I tell you, you won't believe it, and a lot of those folks will be on the side watching to it and never hear it, right? And I'm not afraid to say certain things, but I'm not going to publicly acknowledge some of these evil people, But just when you're right there and they can see it and you can see it, they got to get in to try to destroy your plans and sit back and laugh or sit back and feel good because of what they're not doing. They don't feel good about what they're doing or the lack of what they're doing. And they feel that you're showing them up. What you have it may not be something that is concrete. It may not be a house. It may be your ability to speak. It may be a talent you have. It may be your spirit being light, and their spirit is so crusty and just, I don't know. I just never thought that way. I think like a child. No, I have very advanced thoughts. What I mean, my heart is like a child. Like the child who has the friends come over and says, hey, you can play with my toys. You can even take some of the toys home with you. You just want to see happiness on the other children's face, and they despise you for that. They despise you. They will actually despise you for that, And I just can never comprehend that when I see how jealous people can be. I was not raised to be jealous. I don't know what jealousy is. All I know is motivation and inspiration. And like I said before on another show, jealousy is the other side of the coin of motivation. Jealousy and motivation are very much related, except they're like distant cousins, but they're facing a different way. They're on the same coin, meaning that if you're not motivated by what someone does positively, you're jealous. And it may be a subtle jealousy that you lie to yourself that you're saying that you don't have, but it's a jealousy. Because if I see somebody who collects model tanks, I knew this white man, an architect, it's like my father's, go there every month and he maintained the landmark property floors and stuff, got to know his family and everything like that. And they were cool people. Matter of fact, at my father's homegoing service, him and his wife were there, crying just as hard. And they were real people. They were white folks, but they were real people. I got to say that. It was down through the years, the things they've done for my father and everything, and it wasn't none of that, So I have to say that. I have to give credit where credit is due. Some people, when I just blanketly say, "Oh, white folks," they think that mean everybody. No, I don't mean all of them. There's some who are really, genuine. And when you compare them to the deceptive black folks you may know who will really do you in, you're like, wait a second. You don't get a pass because you're black. You understand? So, yeah, I knew that. Now, he used to get these model tanks that were small. They were like maybe 7 inches, 6 to 8 inches. And they were real tanks. It wasn't like just a tank. But from World War II, this particular tank was used in the Battle of so-and-so. And there were only 78 in existence. The 2 in Czechoslovakia, 5 of them in Kentucky. Like, he knew the history of this thing. And he put them together, glued them together and everything, and then paint them and make them realistic. And he had maybe, it had to be over 100 of them in this one living room. It was a beautiful thing because it had a story behind it, right? Now, I wasn't into that, and I was a young kid. I remember what, it was in 1973 when Muhammad Ali fought Ken Norton for the first time. It was a Saturday, and we were there, and I remember when Norton broke his jaw, we were over at, and I was just getting into like liking boxing and leaving comic books. But from 10 years old, I remember being there, and even before. I knew his kids and everything, but it motivated me to do something because it was fabulous how you couldn't put these tanks together like overnight, real quick, throw them all up, like, oh, we got to get over 100 tanks up in a week's time. It wasn't happening. I've always gravitated toward things that took time to develop, because that's the fascinating part of it, that when you see somebody who's consistent over time and they did something over time and it showed you where their heart is, where their mind is, where the focus is, a confused mind cannot do that. So when you have a person who has a confused, evil-based mind, that they don't really feel they can do something, they want to come after you to destroy what you have. And they'll come so many different ways. They'll come in a way of being caring. There was one fool who came to me when I first moved out here, and he said, "Oh, you're not in America anymore. You don't have to do this. You should just kick back and live your best life." Me not doing something creative, even if it's not this, if YouTube shut down and I couldn't do this, I got to do something along the lines of a legacy of something I've always done. Every time you do something new, and I learned this in bodybuilding, right? My first trophy, oh my God, my first trophy that I got. It was in April of 1980. Oh man, I polished that trophy every single day. But you know what? That trophy began to look old. And when I got the second trophy, that made the first trophy new and more valuable. So as I collected trophies, each one was nice, but it made the collection bigger, and it pointed me back to the first one. But that was the first on the journey of collecting these trophies. They were pieces of tin. I understand that. And I had a moment like Muhammad Ali did when he threw his gold medal in the Ohio River after he was rejected from being served in a restaurant that basically didn't serve black people, but he thought it would be different because he had the Olympic gold medal. But when I realized in life that all of these trophies didn't mean anything, I tossed them out. I tossed them out in the backyard from the top window. I just threw them out, busted them all up. I had a whole lot of trophies. I don't know, maybe it was like, it was a lot of trophies. I was in maybe 90 shows, competitions, didn't get a trophy in all of them, but most of them I did. And I had that moment, the realization, this doesn't mean anything. I forgot what happened. But me as a black man in this world, that didn't matter. So this is why for me now to put my efforts into something that I do to express and connect and maybe enlighten, if maybe I know a little something to help or motivate somebody, that's a living, breathing legacy for me. That's something that it actually helps me, because long after I put something out there, somebody may be affected by it. I said affected, not infected. I thought people around me were crackers. Mine are small crackers. Bite-sized crackers, right? Yeah. So when you're content in what you do, you've got to be very careful, because there are folks that are not content in their lives and they don't want you to feel that way. That's something that's very elusive. This is why some people, when they get a brand new car, they don't take the car and just bring it home. Like, of course, you want family to see it and close people to see it, but they'll go drive around, make sure you're seen, drive around, make sure they're seen, whatever, driving the bus. The people who used to ride the bus will be back in the day. And whenever they would get a new car, you could tell the ones who hated to ride the bus, they'd make sure that even if it was like a route that I was on a particular point and it was near midnight, and I knew they got up early, they made sure to pull up next to me, beep, 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 hey driver, and they're mad at me. I ain't got to ride your bus no more. Not like, hey man, I got a new car, you won't be seeing me. That's cool. But the resentment of them, I'm doing my job. I'm not even thinking about maybe you're nothing because you don't have a car. That's to show you how some people value things. But like I said, with this whole African spirituality title, there are a lot of people who claim that as a mask to get by your defenses. But a lot of these jokers are really into the occult. And some of them don't even know the damn difference. I'm not even saying African spirituality is bad. No, it's a good thing. Even the hocus pocus side. If we were really connected to the thing, wouldn't be in the position that we're in today. So that shows you these individuals that do these little sneaky things behind your back to come at you, to bring you down. What they have is not powerful at all. They're wasting their money. I've told many people on the show that I know peeping and listen, stop wasting your money working your little occult on me, because you're making somebody else rich and it doesn't work. I'm still here. But I will say the collective envy, the collective jealousy, the collective hate, you will feel it. It's not going to wear you down, but you will feel it. You'll feel it in the air. We are sensitive individuals. And the more you spend time to yourself, and the more you meditate, even if it's not meditating on some type of scripture or some type of word, you might be in a deep state of meditation, hearing some really good music and losing yourself in the music. You see? What'd you say, Tracy? The newness wears off after a few of those new car payments, right? Exactly. You're right. It wears off all right. That's why, like I said, it feels good right now to not have a vehicle. Transportation is so cheap. There's a lot of things that are off me right now. And just like you said earlier, folks, they're envious that you're free. And I'm not here to say I'm completely free. Like I say, I still got to pay bills. I still got to do things, still got to sacrifice, still have to budget. But that sense of relief that comes from being out of the system, you don't have the psychic battles going on. You don't have these things happening to you that it's like, oh my God, I can't wait to get away from this tension and pressure. If jobs were, or had people on there who were of a higher level, higher caliber, on a spiritual level. Spiritual doesn't mean that it's good spirituality. You understand? Some people say, oh, this person is not spiritual. What do you mean? We're all spiritual. Even the animals are spiritual. The insects are spiritual. We all have a certain vibe that guides us. Yes, we are spiritual beings. What you mean? Maybe my brand of spirituality is not the same brand as yours. Maybe your brand of spirituality is the evil stuff, the hocus pocus evil stuff, the occult. You're still feeling feelings that should be gone from you, and you claim to be on a higher level. You're lying to yourself. You're not on that higher level. You're not. If you're deep into the jealousy, deep into the hate, deep into the anger, no. I'll let righteous anger flow from me, especially when I have to protect myself against these little demons who want to hover around you, be all up in your business and run and spread it. No, get away from me. I'm banishing you. You have the right. Don't worry about hurting somebody's feelings, because they don't give a damn about hurting yours when they talk about you and spread lies mixed with truth oftentimes. You know what I mean? And so since coming out here to Ghana, the most people that I had problems with are the people who come from the States. They got their identity issues. They want to be this new creature, but they didn't even put the work in when they were in the States to come over here with that. They brought roaches in their box. Like I always say, when you leave that old apartment that was roach infested, you pack away the boxes, You go to the new place that had no roaches. Now you start seeing roaches. Don't get mad at the person who built the house. You brought roaches with you. So most of the people who want to cover themselves and say, hey, I'm new now. I got my ankh, I got my hat, I got my dashiki and whatnot. That's just like smearing chocolate cake over shit, chocolate icing over shit, and telling people it's chocolate cake. One deep bite, you'll find out what it is. And the competitiveness and not even like a business competitiveness, just like, I want to outdo you. Well, listen, I love what I do so much. I have all the time in the world to do it. You're not going to outdo me. Don't even try it. So if you're thinking on the outdo level, then you'll never win, because if you thought on, let me go as hard as I can, let me do what I can do, let me, compete against myself. That's the person I want to help out. Hey, you're really getting into this thing. Here's a little tip. Try it out. Maybe it might work for you. I'll help anybody if they want to ascend. But if you're looking at me and trying to compete with me, that's an insult. How can you compete with me? I'm not saying I'm so great. I'm just saying that I'm a whole different person, a whole different species. I am who I am. I can't help me. I was made. I like to talk. I like to, share things and talk and laugh and do different things. Why are you doing this? I'm also an artist and I write. So you're going to have to compete on so many different fronts. And then the experiences I've had over life. You're going to tell my stories? You don't know me to tell my stories. I got to tell my stories. So I would never do that. I would be inspired by somebody, but never jealous of them, want to compete with them. No, you're inspired by them. Again, like I said, the deceptions, spiritual traps, and attacks are in an all-time high. Even when you think you're sailing high, I'm not saying to bring you down and say, oh, there's always something around the corner, but you will attract the negative because you're so positive. You'll also attract positive. So you have to decipher what it is that's around you and coming around you and take time and figure out what it is. There's no other way. If you're running into something too deep, it looks too good to be true, chances are it's too good to be true, especially on that spiritual level. Because we don't know the charge. We grab the wire and don't know the charge. It's like years ago. I can't even pinpoint the, I'd say maybe 94, when I was working on the top floor apartment in my old house in Queens, New York. And, you can't depend on the signs of other things around you to ascertain what the charge is in a person, right? But this wasn't about people. This was electricity. So I was working with these electrical wires, right? And I didn't know if the power was cut off. So there was a light bulb in the run. And I reached up, it was pretty high up, got up on the ladder, and I pulled the cord. I said, oh, okay. It didn't come on. I pulled it once. It was already off. Pulled it once, it was off. Pulled it twice, 3, 4 times. It never came on. So what does that tell you? There's no power in the wire. Because the light bulb would come on, correct? Wrong answer. I went up there, close to the box near the top of the ceiling, because it was like a cathedral ceiling, because it was an attic apartment. So, I maintained that little peak in the roof. These are the New York style wood frame homes. So I went up in there confidently, hands touching the wires. You always want to be still careful if you think there's no current, because there might be some in there. I touched the black wire and it shocked me so bad. I lost balance off that ladder. I fell on my side. It didn't really hurt myself, but it stunned me. I was like, wait a second. The light bulb didn't indicate that there was any power in there. The light would have came on. Well, you know what? The light bulb was blown. It was blown. So if you had power going through, it didn't matter. I didn't consider that. So you can't go by all of the signs of the people around you, even when they know you, because they may not have that perception. They may not have that righteous charge going through. It is crazy. I learned a lesson that day. I got shocked out of my wits, but I couldn't trust. I had to go see for myself what the charge was in any wire, and I had to see for myself what the charge was in an individual who's around me now. You can intuitively pick it up instantaneously, but if you can't get the charge and figure it out and feel it, because it doesn't take me long. It's not like I have to go through a long vetting process. If you want to be around me, it's going to take 6 months. No, I don't think that high of myself like that, but you just have to think high of yourself enough that you just can't give yourself and your energy away just to anybody, because you just don't know the motivations. And when you can be this way, you'll maintain more quality relationships, longer term relationships, and you won't be leapfrogging through drama that other people bring who don't vibrate on a high level, but they only act that way for a time to get into your inner space, just to mess up and mess up other people who are cool with you, against you, and all that stuff. I don't deal that way anymore. And if a person gets mad, well, fine. They have a block feature on every phone. Utilize it. If you make a mistake, let somebody into your space and they want to talk that foolishness, just block them. Hey, man, I've been trying to call you, man. You don't have me blocked, dude. No, I don't have you blocked. I've just been real busy, man. Oh, really? I got a new phone. I lost the SIM card. I had to do everything all over again. And just leave it at that, because you have the right to enjoy every minute, every hour, every day of your life. I say past a certain point, but you have the right at any point in your life. It's just that, like I said earlier, when you get a little older, you really see and appreciate life for what it really is. And it's precious. See, when I was 20, let's say I was 18. 10 years ago, but I'll just be 28. I'll be a little older. I'm 28. You're still young. Well, me at 60, coming up a few weeks, 10 years, I'm 70. Oh, no, I don't have no time to spend like that. Oh, waste. I want it all to count for what I'm doing in my hobby here, for how I live my life and react with people, the quality of my life, the quality of the people. And I have no time for these spiritual traps. I'm not falling in none of them. There's a lot sent my way. The trap of anger, the trap of lust, the trap of, I'm not greedy, but people try to come up with these little scams. I don't want to be bothered with it. I just want to be smooth from this point on. Like earlier today when I went on the balcony and I took the chair that reclines and the breeze was hitting me and my feet were up higher than my head. And it was just a sense of peace. I said, why can't it be this way all the time? Why can't it be this way every day? I'm going to make it happen that way on purpose, because that's how I plan to live my life. I'm not leaving my life in the hands of others who will just have me in all kind of dramatic situations. That's not good at all. Life is so much sweeter than that. And just think to yourself, how much stuff have you been through in this life where they were uncomfortable situations, things that didn't feel good? So who wants that? And of course, things are going to happen. Okay, no, Tracy's here. So I saw the old message where it said, are you still live? I'm just looking in the WhatsApp right now, right? But yeah, you've been through those things. And you said to yourself at one point, I'll never get in this situation again. And sometimes it happens again in a slightly different way. But right now, life is not going to be handed to me like that. But I'm going to make the choice to minimize those types of situations and maximize the good things from this point on. From this point on, you have to claim that. If you don't claim that reality, it's not going to be given to you like that. You have to claim it. It's there for you. You got to dream about it, think about it. Whatever's bothering you in your life, whatever's an annoyance, or it may be a person, an entity, it may be something from within, some type of self-doubt. Whatever it is, you have to speak it and claim it and keep your mind there. And don't let anybody bring up anything from the past that will make you relapse back into that mindset. You might have been a person who might have been in a relationship with a man who used to beat you, and maybe your esteem was so low at that point, you allowed that to happen. And now you're coming up out of that. Now you're dating somebody or courting somebody or engaged to somebody who treats you a lot better. Don't let that old girlfriend come around you. Girl, his hands are a lot bigger than the other one that was with you. Make sure he's not going. Of course you made sure. Why do they have to bring that up and bring that negative energy into that? Wish the person well and say, hey, I wish only the best for you. You know what I mean? Like, why does it always have to be somebody dragging something from the past to bog you down? That's not a friend. That's not somebody you want to have around you. Because now people don't really come out directly at you. They come with the low-key stuff. They low-key hate, and they low-key dropping seeds of doubt, dropping seeds of despair, dropping seeds of, I don't know if I'm going to do this or not, and around you. And they wonder how you can do it with all this negativity around you. Because your desire to be positive and your desire to live positive is so much stronger than their doubt that they want to put on you that they feel that keeps them back. So they want to spread, I'm not saying spread the love, but they want to spread the doubt. They want to spread the negativity. And that's the only thing they can do while smiling in your face. You see, there's so many people out here that are fear-based, but they talk positive. Oh, well, I hope to do this and I hope to do that, but they're stuck in the same place that they were last year, the year before, 3 years before. You can imagine, even if it was not in that same lane, it's going to be in a different lane, but fear-based. But they purchase the courses, they buy the books, they know, but they never get up off of their ass to do something constructive that affects the world around them. You have people like that. They got all the books in the library, all the websites that they're paid for things, got into things, had a little success in certain things, but when you compare it to what they put in, nothing, because they doubted themselves. They thought negatively of themselves. They didn't really feel that they can do it. I'm crazy. I can do anything that I want at any age. If I wanted to be a rocket scientist, I can do that. I don't want to do that. If I wanted to be a brain surgeon, I can do that. I don't want to do that. There's some simple things that I want to do before I leave this earth that would round out what I do and legitimize what I do. And I want to do them, and I will do them. And sometimes, life throws a curve at you. Like we didn't know, who knows? Mr. SCURV's father, my father-in-law, passed away last March, right? And, it threw a curve in a lot of our plans, but we adapted and we're right back on track. It affected her greatly. So we had to stall things for a while. We're human beings. We have to do that. We have to be caring and understanding. She's still talking about it. And I understand. She's still going through it. And I understand. That's her daddy. And that was the firstborn. Mrs. SCURV was the firstborn, and they had a special connection. So I had to consider that. I had to deal with that when my father passed away back in 1990. Damn, that wasn't yesterday. You know what I mean? That was like, 33 years ago. My mother passed in 1994, right? So that's a long time ago. But you know what? I can have a dream, or I can just think, and I can hear her voice. I can hear his voice because it's part of me and connected to me. Their energy and their love for me is somewhere and it's still connected to me. And that's what drives me. So these people who don't have no connection to nothing else except the negative, I'm connected to things that are more divine, the things that my parents put in me, that they are real. And I don't speak about them in the past tense. I speak about them in the present tense. If you have a refrigerator full of ice and the power goes out and everything melts, there's water all over it, you have sense enough to know that was the ice that melted and turned into water. If you put, okay, I'm getting calls and I'm just going to have to let the calls go, but yeah, you put water in a bowl, a pot, and you boil it. You leave it on too long. You go out in the backyard, you're on the phone talking. You come back, oh man, where'd the water go? It's steam and it's all over the wall, made it wet. You have to understand and to know that. But lots of times we're in a three-dimensional existence, and you have another existence that's a fourth and fifth dimension. We can't understand the fullness of that, but we're still connected to it. See? So that's why I miss my parents. I'll play some music that reminds me of them, and I'll shed a tear of love and joy and happiness. Not sad. Yeah, you're human. You want to see them, but you understand how this thing works. The ice melted and turned to water. The water boiled and turned to steam. Just a different form. So we have to use that as motivation for the time that we're here, for the things that we have been given to us inertly through our DNA and through our upbringing. I ain't got no time for these attacks of these people who are not connected to anything righteous. It's got to be something good for me. And if it's good for me, it's going to be good for you. Wow. Let me see. Right, Reese, you said you never had a car in your entire life and you don't miss it. You ain't really missed nothing. Let me tell you something. They're too expensive. You're right. Wow. They are so expensive. Second behind a house. And when you look at the maintenance of a car, after you finish paying that note, you're on your own. And there's no warranty. It's too much. It's just too much. It's like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want one. You know, I mean, I know I have to have one for certain things or rent something or something, but I don't know. I really don't know. You know what? I'm going to keep this short tonight since I had to adapt to, the strike against the channel. But when you can, go to LanceScurvLive. That's my other. Maybe I'll put it in LanceScurv in the bottom where you can get to it easier. But the channel is straight through LanceScurvLive. There's like one subscriber there. Just make sure to subscribe to that channel. Of course, it's going to take time to build up, but LanceScurv is still primarily my channel that I do. But I'll also be streaming there also. But it's just an extra channel that you can go to. That if this one, that's LanceScurv, gets shut down, you can go there. Maybe that one gets shut down. Who knows? But I'll be putting up the same similar content. Not everything, but the live shows will always be there because it's LanceScurvLive. I'll upload some things like I'm doing this week to be able to put them in, up on the website, because I have another 15 minutes. I'll probably upload the ambience, the new ambience clip that she did. It's only like about 20 minutes long, but it'll be here on LanceScurv.com right below. You'll see it in the slider or you'll see it in the area below like that. It'll always be on the channel. Anyway, I'm glad you both are here. We'll try to get more people on for tomorrow, and we'll make it work in the meantime. And I got a strike because I did a short, a YouTube short, like the minute thing. And what I would do, sometimes I'll do it where I hold up the camera or the phone to my face and say something. But most often I use it as a promotional way of bringing people back to the show that I took the short from. So I'll find 60 seconds on the show, say, okay, this is a good 60 seconds to put up. And it was about the population, the birth rate of Caucasians in their, statistics and everything. So what got me was not so much that I mentioned that, or actually it was Brother Ison who was speaking at the time, and it's his words, but I chose those to put up. And he was basically saying how, they know their numbers are low and their agenda is to wipe us off. And, he mentioned Bill Gates and population control and how it was going to happen. Even though I searched that up and they debunked it, but Bill Gates did say some jacked up stuff. He's not off the hook. Well, it was because he mentioned vaccines, right? That got it for medical misinformation. So that's what they said. Oh yeah, you're speaking the wrong things. They didn't say it that way, but it's we're striking you for medical misinformation. I tried to appeal it, but they weren't having it. So I'll be shut down for a week as far as the LanceScurv channel, but we'll still be doing live shows on YouTube, on this channel, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch, on LinkedIn. It'll all be there, but folks are just not used to going there. So it'll be always when you don't see a show happen, you go to, like when they strike you, you can't even get into your own community tab on YouTube to say, hey, there'll be no more shows for the next week or whatever, So everything and all the information will be here. And for anybody who hasn't, since we're here on LanceScurv.com, just look to your left, right? Just look to your left and it says, subscribe to our email list. Please go there. I'm going to start shooting out emails for every live show and every show that we do there. I'll do one or a couple of days go by because I don't want to blow up anybody's mailbox. But when I have the more important ones, like you have to be here for this show, I'll make sure. But I'm going to put it out there for everyone, and just sign up. Or what I might do is do it after the fact, where maybe like a roundup of what you may have missed, but you do know that we do have our everyday show. And if there's any announcement that has to be made, you're on the list. I can say, hey, we're shut down for a week. We're not going to do anything tonight, but it's important to get on that email list, where it says subscribe to our email list, put your email in there, the name that you want to be used, your email, and subscribe, hit subscribe. It'll be there. And there will be more of those emails going out. So if I'm bugging you too much, you know what I mean? But it's my way of keeping in communication with everybody aside from these social media platforms. You want to have your own platform and your direct way of getting to the people who you vibe with. You see what I mean? So that's a very, very important thing to do. Somebody just sent me a message. I'm going to basically say on the show, I'm about to wrap it down, but come on in on LanceScurv.com before I leave. We got the chat room going and the show going over there on LanceScurv.com. Yeah. So a lot of folks who are like, coming to a party and you gave them the wrong directions. Wait a second, I'm over here. Oh, you're 3 miles away. Just come down the road and turn left by that white picket fence, whatever. That's the way it is. So, this will be up. And I'm looking forward to the conversations. I'm looking forward to having the guests on. We're going to do all that this week. I got some things in the works. And next week, we'll be back on the regular LanceScurv channel. But this week, I will set up all of the things to help us get to where we have to go. But I'm going to say it again. When in doubt, come here. Come here to LanceScurv.com. It'll always be hooked up where it is, the live show hooked up there, regardless as to what channel it is. You'll always see it. We'll always do it that way. Social media, they want to control you. They want to scare you. They want to keep you, don't let them fool you. Oh, no. And they damn sure not going to try to school me, right? So, yeah, I'm going to wrap this down, everybody. Let me just check the chat room one more time. And, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that when we have a conversation, too, But, yeah, that's why I got the strike. But me, I'm the bad boy. When anything happens, they look for me first. Like the kid in the class who always did some trouble. Like we know Lance is always running his mouth. So we're going to watch him hard because they really want to get rid of me on YouTube. That's the bottom line. But I know how to say things without saying them, and they just find it hard to get me. Like I said, I can tell a joke. I can tell a nasty, dirty story in any church on a Sunday morning without saying certain words, and they'll know what I mean, and they'll be cracking up like, man, you said that. I can say anything. There's a way to say anything, basically. And that's what's keeping me alive on this on YouTube, because they've been trying to come at me like really, really hard. So anyway, much love to you all, and let's keep everything going. What I want to do is designate, like, I'm gonna put a little tab up for it, because a lot of folks come on to this particular chat and nobody's there. There's no reason for you to be there 24/7. If nobody's there, why go there? But what I want to do is designate a time that if you're ever going to be on this, it's going to be at that time. So because so many of us live in different time zones, I was kind of thinking, and this is just a suggestion because I want you all to give me your suggestions here in the chat room. What do you think the best time would be to say, hey, this is when we really get together and do a group chat? I was thinking like after the show, like after a 2-hour show, which I'm kind of ending a little bit after 1 hour, but it would be Eastern time, 7 p.m., right? So for people that are all before those time periods, it might work. Like if I go in there, chances are I know there's going to be somebody there from the SCURV platform. So I was saying maybe 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's not written in stone yet. I still want to take some votes. I might wait a week before I say that, but where I can pop in there and I can get my chat on for a little while, maybe make another time to meet back with other people. In here, and you have private rooms. It's a nice little feature, and it's on the chat page too. All the chats you see across the site, it's the same exact chat. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there's no stopping this. That's right, Reese. And I have to say, I was looking at your profile picture. You have a very pleasant face, very pleasing and pleasant, just demeanor. I can pick up, you can pick up so much about a person with their photograph. Like me, I know I look mean, so don't. I'm a teddy bear, but I have my facade, because of all of these spiritual attacks out here. You got to be ready to throw the lefts and rights and go for the knockout, right? But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up right now. I'm a little sleepy. I'm going to do like 2 hours worth of work. I want to set up the Telegram and the WhatsApp group rooms where we can chat there. I'm not going to make it too thin, but I want to have it across the board. So if there's something that really I have to spread and say, hey, this is what happened, where YouTube can't stop me, and it just doesn't have to be a one-way Charlie. I can do it across the board. But the one thing about the WhatsApp group rooms is what I don't like is that your number is exposed. And there have been men in the past in my former group that would see the number of a young lady, whether you had your name in there or not, like you put your name, like you can make up a name, and they would turn around and call some of these females up 2 and 3 in the morning. Hey, girl, I want to hear your voice. I see your profile picture. I think you're kind of sexy. You can't do that. Not on my watch, not in my room. You're not disrespecting our sisters like that. if y'all have a certain feeling for each other and y'all get together and decide as adults, we're going to talk on a different level and we're going to mutually take this out of here. But you can be friendly in the room. But if you say, hey, we're going to talk a little private, adult, it might be sexual, it might not, that's none of my business. But don't violate somebody by just barging it on in and not even just like texting them directly. But that's the one thing I don't like about the WhatsApp group rooms. I like them because most people have WhatsApp, but I don't like them because they have to be monitored and people start spamming people and all of that stuff. And I will get anybody who does that out of there quick. I don't play that. Just let me know, boom, and they're out. But I'm going to set those things up again. Telegram is a little different. I think Telegram is the same thing where you can get a person's number, but I think there's ways of hiding it. I don't know, but we'll see. Then I'm going to start some group WhatsApp chats where a lot of people can call in and I put out a number and it will probably go up. It won't be private or anything like that. It'll go up as a YouTube video, a discussion. It will have something private. I have so much planned. I want it to be fun on a daily basis. Not like, oh, I got to wait a whole week, but we'll always have something going on. And that'll help me out too, because as we do these shows and phone conversations and chat room conversations, I could be there and doing my artwork and doing different things, and my whole creative world will come full circle and I'll get so much more done. And I want to thank you all for your support and sharing the links and the algorithms and the likes and all that stuff. But don't forget to join LanceScurv Live. That's this particular video that you're looking at. That's not, looks like LanceScurv, but it's LanceScurv Live. So click on it, get to that channel and just subscribe to it. But anyway, my dear family, you know, oh yeah, we don't have that element here. I mean, we can keep it here, whichever you prefer. No one has to join everything. If you prefer this, this is better, because I will say there are a lot of creeps out there, a lot of creeps out there, a lot of creeps. And I don't tolerate those guys. You know, I have private information of many of the young ladies here, many of the brothers here. I would never violate. I apologize if I booty down somebody by mistake. You know what I mean? If I have to talk to you, I'll talk to you when you're ready to talk. But I always keep it where, you know, you all know I'm zany and I talk sexual sometimes on the show, but what I would never like really, no, unless we vibe like that, like we're just talking, like we're adults. Just, I say certain things and I've done that. Yeah. But not in a way to, you get the feeling that I'm some predator now, calling you over and over in the middle of the night. I don't know. I was always a straight up guy. Even in my wilder days, I was always respectable toward women, always showed respect. Like, listen, you know, this is what it is. If this is the way it is, it can be that way. If not, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. That way, when I was doing things back in that day, and it wasn't really me. I was never a predator. You know what I mean? It was them coming after me a lot of times. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to say no, but you know, and before and after, it was always respect. I would never kiss and tell. That's another thing. Hey, that's that girl over there. She did this. She did. No, I don't do that. You know, that's why I had a lot of experiences, because like, wow, I really respect you the way you carried yourself. Even 20, 30 years after an encounter, people have run into me here on social media like, man, I never heard one word of what we did. I said, you'll never will in the street. I don't talk. We'll talk about it if you want to, but I don't do that. You know, whatever happens between two people stays that way, you know. But anyway, I'm going to cut out right now. As usual, I'll play a little music. It feels funny. You know, not on the original channel. There's not a lot of people here, but hey, we still had a good time anyway, right? So much love to you all. I'm going to work on some things, and I'll keep the chat room up. If you want, I'm not going to, this chat room never ends. So if you want to keep on coming and come back or whatever, I got it in front of me. Makes that little noise when somebody leaves a message, but I know for sure, like during the shows right after, I'll be on. All right. Much love to you all. Thank you so much. We'll be back again here on LanceScurv.com tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much. Much love.
Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the goat. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. So-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. Yes, kick the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa with every ounce of strength and breath. His cry is, give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you. This is what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come, wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. Before we came to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.